Nurse TV, brought to you by HESTA and the Australian Nursing Federation. In many cultures, an image of an aged person commands respect. But in Australia, old age is feared and positive images of ageing are seldom seen. But for aged care nurse and respected artist Sue Marsh, the ageing process has been a source of inspiration and the effect on her art has been profound.
It's a very specialised area of nursing. It is an area that I feel very passionate about. It's an area in which I think we're very privileged as nurses. It's a very powerful part of nursing, I believe, personally, and I feel very passionate about the ability to be able to aid quality of life. I think the quality that we can give to these people in that process as they draw close to the end of their life. And I just feel so strongly about it. I started my art just purely in a community-based system, just doing life drawing, which was very observational. And it wasn't until I sort of progressed through several community art-based programs that I started getting more into cultural perspectives. And that suddenly I realised the power of art. I was more informed by art as a tool, as a communication tool. And it becomes quite exciting because you realise that through this visual means of you, with your techniques, you can actually create a dialogue or a narrative that can be more powerful than a spoken word. And I've been actively pursuing the techniques in my art practice to be able to communicate the issues that I find that arise in aged care nursing. There is huge amounts of grief by families. It's just tremendous that grief process they go through. And I don't think they ever really get over it. And I really feel that's where my art comes into play, to perhaps try to stimulate some sort of conversation around the holistic process, that it's not just the resident we're caring for, it's their families that we need to care for as well. And we need to work closer as a holistic team. And that it's a different approach in aged care to what it is in acute care.
Sue draws much of her inspiration from clients she has looked after for years. With the permission of their families, Sue has created a series of paintings that explore the human body and the ageing process.
It examined or explored through means of collage and personal effects their life, the person to whom they were. They weren't just dementia in bed, blah, blah. They were a real person, and I sort of tried to use that work to sort of try to espouse the very great need for dignity in the dying process. I think my favourite image is the portrait I did of a gentleman who was a younger age group resident when he came into care, and it was that journey that I had with him that I suddenly realised the power of the visual image of just a portrait. And I think I worked on that for 2 years before it was completed. And to me, it was just, there was just so much within that person, his aspirations to still be seen as a human being, to communicate his inner needs. I felt that was very powerful. It still speaks to me when I look back on that work.
Sue hopes her artwork will influence nurses considering a career in aged care.
Aged care nursing is a very viable career option. That, you know, it's a speciality, that it has huge complexities in its nursing outcomes, and that in looking at aged care as a speciality, that my art will contribute to education of nurses to, you know, allow them to want to perhaps continue nursing in aged care rather than, you know, seeing it as not a viable option as a career, as a profession. The families have come to me and they've said, Sue, thank you. Thank you for allowing, you know, my aunt to have a face, you know, that she just wasn't an elderly lady just needing care, you know, needing feeding, needing bathing in aged care, that you humanised her and allowed us to sort of look back on her story and to be able to sort of see her death process with some dignity in the artwork as it was portrayed.